Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a traditional sourdough bread. First, I'm going to begin with about 125 grams of an active sourdough starter. Now I will mix in about 360 grams of warm water. Now that those are mixed together, I will add about 500 grams of bread flour. I also need about 12 grams of salt. Now I've come to the hardest part, mixing everything together and making sure that there is no flour left unmixed. You may have a mixer for this process. I don't, so I'm doing it by hand. This will also be the beginning of building the structure to the dough. Well, that gave my arm a really good workout. But now I need to cover the dough and I need to allow it to rest for about an hour. Before I start doing my stretch and folds of the dough, I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon of olive oil. This is optional, but it will allow for a softer dough. I am now just pulling and stretching the dough to continue building structure. I will repeat this process 4 times. Each time that I'm finished with my stretch and folds, I will cover the dough so I can be sure that the dough does not dry out. Each time during the resting period, the dough will form air as the starter continues to do its job. I will allow the dough to rest anywhere from 30 minutes to about an hour. The first resting is complete, so I will do another set of the stretch and folds. I always like to make sure my hands are wet before I start stretching and folding. This helps the dough from sticking to my hands. It's time for another rest of 30 minutes to about an hour. It's looking great. Now I'm doing my third stretch and fold. Once again, I will cover and rest. Now I'm ready for my fourth and final set of stretch and fold. This time I'm going to cover and allow it to set for bulk ferment for at least 6 to 10 hours. Wow, I see a lot of bubbles. That's a great sign, and the dough has doubled in size. I have allowed the dough to bulk ferment for about 6 hours. It is now late in the evening. I'm pretty tired. I'm ready to relax and get some sleep. I will shape the dough, place it into my lined bread pan, cover, and refrigerate it until in the morning. Here you see me pooling the dough. This is to create a tighter form to my shaping, and this will help the shape to hold together better. I am also pinching together and folding under the edges. It's the next morning and the dough is out of the fridge. I will score the dough and bake it at 425 for 25 minutes with a pan of hot water. Then I will remove the pan and I will continue baking at 375 for 20 minutes or until golden brown. You want to be sure to allow it to cool for at least an hour, preferably longer, before you begin to cut the bread. Wow, that is beautiful. It is soft, it is crunchy, it's perfect. I hope that you will try the recipe and that you also will be able to enjoy this traditional sourdough bread.